Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's me, the Bolt the Bear, your friendly neighborhood Xenomorph main. We're not going to be covering a build today. We're just going to be taking a look at the changes that were announced for Xenomorph that will be dropping in the coming PTB. Make sure to slap a like on the video, sub if you want to. Helps me understand what you'd like to see more of. We won't be going into a ton of detail on these numbers and what they could mean. If you'd like to see a more in-depth understanding of what implications this could have on the character itself, make sure to check out the MrHeadache's most recent video. I'll make sure to drop it in the description below. Let's hop into the changes and my initial impressions / worries on just the paper numbers. Alright, let's go over some of the changes that we're going to be going through. Increased tail attack charge time to 0.35 seconds was 0.2, means that the tail attack will take longer to launch. Increased tail attack charge sound volume for survivors, it just means that the whip noise will be louder for survivors to react to, fine with that. Reduced missed attack cooldown to 2.5 seconds was 3. Recovering faster from missed attacks is nice, but rewarding for missing is kind of an odd choice over not missing. Increased the killer instinct range when exiting a tunnel to 16 meters was 12 meters. Just means you'll be able to identify where survivors are at a longer range. Decrease the time it takes to get out of a tunnel to 1.5 seconds was 2.25. Coming out of a tunnel faster is a nice quality of life change. Increased amount of fire needed to burn the Xenomorph out of crawler mode to 175 was 100. Essentially makes the Xeno more tanky for the initial fire. Increased delay before the Xenomorph's heat starts to dissipate to 15 seconds was 1. From the sounds, it seems like it works like lacerations from the Trickster's blades, where after 15 seconds the decay starts. Decreases the Xenomorph's heat dissipation rate to 2 charges per second was 25. This is actually a huge nerf, as you'll only be losing 2 charges per second over 25. Essentially guaranteeing the Xenomorph will get broken out eventually, even with poor turret placement. Decreased the Xenomorph's... Sorry, I just read that one. Adjusted several add-ons to align with these changes. Obviously, turret add-ons are going to be looked over. Probably going to say goodbye to Helm and Star Map as go-tos. Maybe we'll see in the PTB. Let's dive into the dev notes, though. Alright, so we have, in its current state, Xenomorph's tail attack tends to be a little too difficult to dodge, skill issue, with a short window between windup and attack. I'm just kidding. To give survivors more of a chance to anticipate and react to it, we've adjusted its charge time and made the windup louder to balance this out. We reduced the cooldown on misses so Xenomorph can pressure up. I'm perfectly fine with them making things a bit better to react to in the grand scheme of things. It just sounds like this is kind of what happened to Deathslinger all over again. We've also found that turret impact can be inconsistent, providing huge value at high skill levels and being very ineffective at lower levels. Rather than having turrets act as an immediate threat that dissipates quickly, heat buildup will remain for longer. This should help give a little more value to smaller bursts of heat that aren't enough to knock Xenomorph out of crawler mode, as weaker turret placements can still build up over time. To ensure the sustained heat isn't too punishing, we balanced it with a higher heat threshold for Xenomorph. Okay, my thoughts on this. They're literally saying that turrets were a skill issue, so they're balancing around the skill issue. I wouldn't mind if it wasn't such a drastic change on paper, of course. It just feels like this is hand-holding lower skill play, while also buffing high skill play as well. Instead of bridging the gap or widening it, but not compensating for the killer player. Like I said, all of this is just on paper. We won't know until we actually play the PTB, but definitely check MrHeadache's video out, going in depth on why a lot of these changes and things don't make sense to do. Buffing weaker add-ons is definitely the right play, but overall, I really wasn't ready to see nerfs like this today. Yeah, it's pretty wild, too, that they're buffing the turrets, mainly because out of both sides, that seems to be the part that they don't want to do the most. Feels like a chore sometimes, even going against them. I enjoy going against Xenomorph. I enjoy playing Xenomorph, but I definitely understand some of the survivors or killers' point of view where they think that turrets do feel like a chore, and the fact that they're leaning into that play style is a little worrying. Like I said, we still have to wait. We have to see, actually play it. I do hope they see the MrHeadache's video. Even if they don't see mine, I hope that somebody sees it and understands that he put so much care into understanding that character, that he really does understand it, and he understands that some of these changes do sound pretty drastic and could kill an already low-picked character. There were obviously other changes in the notes other killers, other things that are gonna be happening in the game. But being a Xenomorph main, I had to get Xenos changes out to the community. Let me know down in the comments below what your initial thoughts are. Good, bad, indifferent. As of right now, I'm leaning towards it being a net nerf to the character and hope they rein in some of the more drastic changes. Make sure to slap a like on the video, sub if you want to. We'll have another build video dropping tomorrow. I just wanted to put some initial reactions out there. We'll also record some PTB to see how the changes actually feel. Stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.